Hello, welcome to another episode of the Japa podcast. My name is Saheed. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to this channel, like the channel, and also share with everyone. My aim of the aim of the Japa podcast is to provide international students actionable things that they can do, and to also provide you a platform where you can hear how other international students have thrived, are thriving. I also put in this discussions my own story weaved into all of that. So this episode is essentially one of those kind of insights, but however, I intend to add even more of a personal story at the end. So please ensure you watch to the end. So what are we talking about today? Today, I want to talk about an executive order that Trump signed on the 29th of January. It was an executive order aimed specifically at international students, which is why this is in particular something that you should listen to. What is the executive order about? So reading here on my tablet, it says, shall be the policy of the U.S. to combat anti-Semitism vigorously using available and appropriate legal tools. So in recent times, there was a lot of protest on at U.S. universities, and what that led to was a lot of disruptions. The government of that time, mostly President Biden, had to do a lot of conversations with the students who were pro-Palestinian people, and that was just last year. However, Trump has come in now, and he has changed the policy that he is going after that did the protest, and specifically international students. And his executive order that he issued is combating anti-Semitism, finding that students in particular faced anti-Semitic harassment in schools on a university campus. And one of the things that he wants to do is to enforce some of the laws. So one of the biggest thing that would happen in this case is, based on the fact sheet that I have here as well, is it would affect a lot of international students that actively protested at those times. Now, I don't know if they're actively going back to look at videos and trying to find out who's on a visa. I don't know if they're actively doing that, but the aim of an executive order is to essentially carry out those laws. Now, it is framed as a measure to combat anti-Semitism, and it also references, however, there's what they call a fact sheet where he specifically says he would call for the removal of these people. So it's not just international students. He says calls for removal of resident aliens who violate the law. He also says he wants to cancel visas of people who he deems as Hamas sympathizers or involved in unlawful activities. So one of the things that this does is EOs can be interpreted differently. So my advice to international students is please do not actively engage in physical protests. Don't make yourself a target. The EOs will always look for people to target. Do not give them a reason to target. So one of the things that I have a problem with the EO, again, it's just my own view, is who decides what qualifies as support for Hamas or pro-Palestine? What is the basis of that? Is it someone that was just seen in a video without context? Is it someone that actively participates? Is it someone that maybe violated and vandalized stuff? We don't know. So you have to be very careful when you're doing this as an international student. And does it also mean that international students risk deportation for peaceful protests? Because everything can be spun around. So you have to be very careful. Say, for example, you are protesting peacefully for a cost of living adjustment, for example. So, I have been in Santa Cruz. It was a student of UC Santa Cruz where international students were protesting a cost of living adjustment. And would that be constituted as something that is lawful? So rather unlawful? Can that be spun around? So there's a lot of things. So I would advise international students, don't get caught up in groups of students that are banding together to do something. You're here on a visa. You're here to study. Keep your priorities concrete. Make sure that you're in class. Make sure that you're taking the requisite number of classes. Make sure you're not skipping classes, because the school DSOs would have received a different instruction right now on how to enforce the new EO. So Department of Homeland Security would have probably giving brand new trainings to their DSOs on what to look out for. And the DSOs are your first line of defense. So you have to get very, very comfortable with, you have to get very chummy. You have to be friends with your school DSO. So yeah, so one other thing that I have here is, what are the legal implications? What happens if a student's visa gets cancelled? Well, the moment your visa gets cancelled and official, that student is officially out of status. And, the fact that they have your details means that they can come pick you up because ICE has your details. So deportation might be something that they may start doing, but no one knows exactly how they're going to do this. Is the EO going back to protests that happened in the past, or is it a forward-looking EO to say going forward right now, this is what they're going to do? We still don't know. Usually EOs have a particular number of days that is specified for the agencies to bring back insights and to bring back plans. So probably we're in that 60-day period where it states that, hey, in this number of days, I want the Department of Homeland Security to do this, I want X and Y. So we don't know, but the urgency for this video is, please be careful out there. What you post online, and the reason why I also say what you post online is you are going to be applying for immigration benefits. So what your tweets, what your posts on social media, what your videos, because you typically submit all of this, and all of this information is usually used as a basis to gather information for your immigration benefits. You're still going to be applying for immigration benefits, so you have to be very careful what you post, what kind of groups you join online. So you watch out for affiliations. Don't be naive. Don't be ignorant. Don't say I didn't know. Ignorance is not an excuse. Under US law, you have to know what you're doing. You're an adult. I'm assuming if you're in undergrad or grad, you are over 18. So you are liable for whatever it is that you post. So you have to be very, very careful. If in doubt, just say it to yourself or say it in your mind, and you don't have to bring it out. If you must say something, say to someone, say to your friends to their face. Don't type it out, don't email it. I don't know. Just make sure you don't leave a digital trail that can get you in trouble, because anything can be spun around. I'm not saying that you should muzzle up. I'm not muzzling up your free speech. I'm just saying that you have to be very, very smart and very, very bright about this issue. So, right. Another thing I want to talk about is layoffs. International students, some people have been looking for work. They've been out of school. So this is currently February. So some people either graduated in December and they got their OPT cards. Some are graduated in May and they're looking forward to graduation. Some are out of a job. Some are on their OPT, some on their STEM OPT, trying to figure out what to do. I would like to say, hang in there. It is hard. It's hard out there, especially in the tech industry. It is difficult. There was a recent layoff at Meta. My friend was caught up in that. Bright person knows his onions, but still, these things happen, even to the best and to the brightest. So what can you do? Just make sure you are aware of the implications of layoffs for your visa. If you're on H-1B and you are laid off, you have 60 days to look for work, to look for a new job. The 60 days starts counting on the last day that your payroll is run. So please, speak to an immigration lawyer. This is not legal advice. I do not aim to provide legal advice, but you have 60 days to figure out what you need to do. I know a lot of people had the route of switching to a B1, B2 in order to stop the 60-day clock. Look for work for as long as you can for the next 6 months and then switch back again. I don't know if that rule will be allowed with the new president now. So I would advise you to always seek out an immigration lawyer to see what your options are. H-1B also has the option of going back to school. You can go back to school in the fall, in September. I don't know what the change of status situation is right now from H-1B to F1. I know it's been very difficult in recent times to do a switch of status within the US from one particular visa to the other. It's largely been frowned upon now, unlike the past. So that's one thing H-1B can do. For OPT, one of the things you can do is also go back to school, get into either a grad program, If you're an undergrad that just had OPT, you can go back to do your master's. If you're an OPT that just finished a master's degree, you can go back for a PhD. All of this to keep in status. Ensure again, please, to remain in status. It is very vital for your future immigration benefits. Remaining in status ensures that you can switch status. You cannot switch statuses if you're out of status. So just be aware for H1. So how do I deal with this? Don't panic. That's the first thing I would say. Don't panic, and to think through things. Do not make rash decisions, and ensure that you get news from reliable sources. Don't join unknown and places where you can get in trouble immigration-wise. So don't join shady consultancies and things that would run payroll for you. You have to be very careful about that. So that's another thing. It's really been a tough job market. It wasn't like this when I graduated in 2017, where there was a plethora of options to work, and I enjoyed that. So it's really disheartening to see right now. Also, I want you to not subject yourself to mental stress and mental agony. You need your body to serve you, so you need to really take care of yourself during this time. Yes, the bills will keep piling. As an international student, you have to pay the bills. Please reach out to the financial institutions and let them know. They usually have things that they can help you to do, like to pause your payments or whatever it is. Again, this is not financial advice. You can always reach out to them. So make sure you, in one way or the other, hang in there. This too shall pass. Do not burn out. And this leads me to the next thing about burnout is please take care of your body. Please take care of yourself. I personally would tell you to do checkups every 3 months if you have healthcare. This allows you to check where you are. I'll give myself as an example. In 2021, 2022, I realized I had sleep apnea. My brother had visited and he noticed that I wasn't breathing when I slept, and that led me to exploring what exactly that was. In the midst of this, I also was facing the prospect of type 2 diabetes. So one of the things I learned in this quest was there's a direct correlation between type 2 diabetes and sleep apnea. So if you have sleep apnea, you probably have type 2 diabetes. And if you have type 2 diabetes, there's a high probability you also do have that. So what I would say is please check yourself. Please go and check yourself. And there's also underlying blood pressure. Stress creates anxiety. Anxiety can lead to increased blood pressure. There's a high probability that most people that have been in this stressful conditions with the layoffs have a blood pressure. So please do take proper care of yourself. Go see a doctor. They will diagnose. I know a lot of people would say, no, everything is fine. I feel fine. Please take care of yourself. Take the meds that the doctors give you. However, at the same time, do not be a chemistry set. Do not take every single meds under the sun. So what I would say is, if you have an underlying condition like blood pressure, please see a doctor, get the meds, change your lifestyle, go to the gym. The gym is the cheapest form of healthcare in the US. You cannot find another place where $29 a month, $30 a month can change your life. You need to do cardio, you need to do strength training. Please take care of yourself. An hour a day will not kill you. Make sure as well to also know your body. Do not take every single thing the doctor tells you. Always do your research as well. I was able to find out the direct correlation between sleep apnea and type 2 diabetes. My doctor did not. He didn't know that. And when I realized that I was sleeping well, it meant that I could exercise well, which meant I was able to reverse the type 2 diabetes without taking meds. So that's gone now. And that's only because I was very particular in targeting and fixing the problem. And you have to, because you only have one body. So I would advise you to consistently check yourself every 3 months. Where am I now? Where am I going next? Because if you end up becoming a chemistry set and take drugs for every single thing known to man, you will end up crashing your body. If you take blood pressure pills, if you take type 2 diabetes pills, or you take this pills, your kidneys will pack up something. Change your lifestyle. If you used to drink a lot before, start drinking less or eliminate the drink. The foods you used to have in your home country is not the food in America. That's one of the things. The chemical changes are very different. Cook your foods if you have to. Do not have to eat out all the time. Reduce the junk food. Don't live a sedentary lifestyle. Go active. have weights, do a treadmill, do a run, go out, get some sun, leave the desk, leave the computer screen. Take care of your body. I recently found out a friend had passed from the stress that big tech gave him. That is disheartening. I would never see him again. I would never speak to him again. He's gone. But you're still here. You're listening to me. You can still take care of yourself. So please, I beg of you, take care of yourself. Go for that run. Go see that person you've always wanted to see. Take that trip. Take a plane ride. Go see some sun. Travel. See yourself in a different place. Yes, spend the money you're making. If not, the money is going to be spending you. Which one? Who's supposed to be spending you? The money spending you or you spending the money? Spend the money. Go and enjoy yourself. So that's one of the things. You have to prioritize your sleep and you have to do a lot of stress management. So sleep well. Make sure you get 6 to 7 hours of sleep every night. Make sure you do a sleep study to make sure you're sleeping well. A lot of people might feel, well, I sleep well. Go do a sleep study. You can get a sleep study through your health insurance. Go sleep. If you don't want to go to a place to do your sleep study, you can get sleep study kits and do it at home and then send in the results. That's how I got my sleep apnea sorted out. I have a machine that I sleep with. Brilliant machine. I sleep well every single night because of that. That's fixing yourself. That's fixing your body. Do not be ashamed. Do not feel like, what if people... No, this is your body. If anything happens to you, my friend that is gone now, the company is still there. Company is still making profits. Heck, I'm sure they're going to post profits next week or this quarter. But he's gone. But you're still here. And I want you to be here. I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. Mental health support. Make sure mental health is real. From your home country, you probably never heard about it. But it is real here because of lots of pressures. Lots of external pressures you cannot take here. You have your bills. You have your mortgage. You have your rent. You have that bill and this bill. You have this car note. You have this car note. You have small bills, streaming service, this. And then you're out of money. And then you're broke. And then you repeat, rinse and repeat. And then you do that over and over again without taking a break. It creates anxiety. It creates stress. Learn to manage that. How do you manage that? Take a walk. Travel. Go somewhere. Leave your office. Leave your home office. Leave your state. Something that would not keep you in the same place over and over again. It can box your head in. Do that. Also, know when to step away. Yes. Know when to step away. When you feel that this is not working, quit the job. Yes, if you're on a visa, it sound crazy. But what should you prefer? Stay alive or be gone? Remember, the job will still be there. No job or visa is worth your life. Step back. Take a breather. Learn. Find out from someone what you need to do. Have a mentor. I have mentors in America, mentors that have gone through the system, mentors that show me the way and point out and say, you're doing this wrong, I think you should do this. Mentors that have been through what you've been through. People in their 70s that have succeeded in America. Look out for them. Talk to them. Reach out to them. Learn from them. There's something that they did that you should be doing too. Remember, the longevity of this place is not how much money you can fit in your pocket. That would be good. I mean, yes, that would be good. It's how well your kids can transcend you. What are you leaving for the next generation? How well are you preparing your kids for when you're not here? You need to be healthy to be here to watch them succeed. So prioritize that family time. Prioritize those kids. Be around to teach them what they need to do to succeed in America. So look for mentors. Look for mentors that have been through, mentors that have kids that you have. Right, when I mean kids that have kids like you. Mentors that have kids your age. So that you can learn from them how they brought up their kids in this system. And I have one particular person who has been of tremendous help, who has put me in the right path on how to succeed in America. And it's not the way I thought it was. It's not the traditional path that I thought I would take. And it is working. So I want you to understand that you will succeed in America. You will go through rough patches. You will have that stress, but you would overcome it. You would manage it. You would do well, and you would succeed. So, in conclusion, don't fret. Do this and do this well. Execute, plan, be consistent. Don't give up. Don't give in. This too shall pass. I thank you very much for listening thus far. Please subscribe to this channel, share this link with someone else that has been through a layoff or someone that is going through one. Share this with someone that is going through a lot of problems right now that might not see the tunnel at the end of the day. I am a living testimony that you will end up doing very well. So take this from me. I don't have anything else on my screen. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and catch you on the next one. Bye.